What's up, YouTube? I'm making another video. It's been a while, but I'm going to tell you the journey that I've been on. It's been almost a year since I posted a video. So I'm just going to get right into it. It's going to be kind of long because it's been a while. So I'll just let you know everything that's been going on. So I was with a major carrier. And what ended up happening is I kept my cell phone where the air brakes were. My cell phone dropped, fell down by my feet. Right by my gas pedals and my brake pedal. So I thought that was a, danger to myself and others, because if it would have slid behind my brake pedal, I wouldn't have been able to stop. So I went down and I grabbed the cord, and they have cameras in their truck which can pick up reflections at nighttime off the mirror if it's dark out and dark in your cab. So what ended up happening is the cameras, when I went to bend down and grab the cord, the camera picked up that I had done a slight lane departure and started recording without me knowing. And what it does is it records 10 seconds prior to the incident, and then 10 seconds after. And in the video you see me driving, and then you see my cell phone flop up into my lap because I grabbed the cord, threw it up in my lap. And then you see my hand go on top of the cell phone and place it back to where, and as I'm placing it back, that's when the camera cuts off and stops. So I got hit with a cell phone and hand violation, which is a big no-no, especially in trucking. And that was the reason for my termination. And also with that company, I had 3 preventable accidents, which is like a double-edged sword, because with the company, if you wanted to get anything fixed on your truck, the shop needed a claim number put in if it was like any damage to your truck. So like if you didn't report something and they went to go fix it and there was no claim number, they won't fix it. So the 3 preventable accidents: one, I broke off the wind frame thing. I was in a really tight spot. Shipper sent me to do a U-turn in this area. It wasn't meant for trucks to do a U-turn in, and I jackknifed, backed up too far, and broke off one of the wind frames. That was a preventable accident. Another one, I was backing up into a dock which had a garage door shut in front of it, and I ended up clipping my fender mirror and breaking off a little piece of the plastic. That wasn't a DOT violation, but I could, like if I wanted to get it fixed, had to put it in claim, so I called it in as a claim. And then the third was I was making a turn and I clipped a stop sign in Staten Island, New York, in a shopping center, and I clipped a stop sign with my bumper. And my thinking behind that was, like, if anybody called my company and saw that I did that, because it's a shopping center, there's tons of people around, and people with cameras nowadays, I was able, the stop sign was still standing and everything like that. But if I didn't call that in and somebody else called it and said that, oh, so and so, we saw your driver hit the stop sign, blah 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 blah. It was super windy that day. Who knows? Maybe the stop sign would have fell over or whatever. I'd rather them hear it from me than from somebody else. So that was another preventable accident. So what ends up happening is, after that termination, like, I had a hard time getting jobs because, and this is like something that I don't like about the way the trucking industry is and these major carriers and everything like that, man, is like, those accidents are not on my DAC report because they're non-reportable. They don't report them to the DOT office because why would they? That causes their insurance scope. And there was nobody else involved. There was no injuries, no deaths, nothing like that. No other property was involved. So, like, but whenever I would go to apply to these jobs and they would do an employee reference check, they would send the 3 preventable accidents to these companies. And it's like, like, I don't know, legally, all companies legally can, are supposed to tell employers is your start date, your end date, and the reason why you are no longer with the company. You know? I could see if a trucking company called this other trucking company for a reference and they said, "Oh yeah, Mr. Patrick, he worked from this date to this date, terminated. Reason for termination: cell phone in hand." I get that. Okay, yeah. But to send them a full list of my 3 preventable accidents, these are the dates, da 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 da. It's like, you know, really? You're not going to report them to the DOT, but you're going to report them to, whoever. You know what I mean? So, like, my DAC report's clean, my motor vehicle report's clean, everything else was clean, but those 3 So, like, I'd go to apply to all these jobs, man, and if I didn't get not hired for the cell phone in hand, it was because of the 3 preventable accidents. The 3 preventable accidents were okay, the cell phone in hand wasn't okay. So, like, I had a really hard time finding a job after that. And I applied to all these companies, and there were 2 companies that picked me up. The one company, they wanted me to do like 240 hours of training with a trainer, and I felt that was a little bit ridiculous because at that time I had, those 3 preventable accidents happened right when I got off my trainer's truck. One was in the end of January and 2 were in February, and I ended up January, February, March, April, May. I ended up getting fired in May. Yeah, May. So I ended up getting fired in May. So I had like 5 months experience driving. And I already did 200 hours with my first carrier when I first got out of CDL school, and they wanted me to do 240 hours because I was a safety rehire. So I really wasn't feeling that. So I applied to another company, and what ended up happening was I signed during their, because that's when COVID's big now. So orientation for the one company was pretty much all on my phone. You're signing all the paperwork and stuff for that. You're just going there to do your drug test, your physical, and your backing and driving test with them. I ended up signing a 1-year non-compete contract, which means if I quit that company within the first year, I cannot work for another company that competes with them. So in trucking, that would mean any other trucking company, really. Because they were a major carrier, so any other major carrier, even a local carrier, couldn't pick me up because I had this non-compete with them. So I found that out because another company wanted to pick me up, and I decided to go with them. And when they went to hire me, they said, "Oh, you got this 1-year non-compete with this other company." So what ended up happening is I had to pay that other company that I signed the contract with, pretty much pay them for the orientation part that I did with them because I didn't get it on the trainer's truck with them. So I paid them and got out of the contract and went with this other company. Ended up doing their orientation and going through all that stuff, and didn't have to go out with a trainer, but their equipment, I was going to be like out for like 3 or 4 weeks, and I just felt the truck wasn't suitable. All their trucks weren't suitable for me to be out on the road for 3 to 4 weeks at a time. Granted, the truck that they were giving me is similar to a truck that I'm in now, but with this truck, I am only in it 5 days a week. I'm home for 2, so it's really not that. It's not as a big a deal for me. Yes, I'm in this truck 5 days out of the week, but it's not like when you're over the road. When you're over the road, you live in the way I run, you live in your truck, man. Like, that is your home for most most of the time, because I'm, I run 4 to 5 to 6 weeks at a time when I'm over the road. I'm not just, out for 7, home for 1. No, dude, I'm out for 3 to 4 weeks at a time. 4 weeks minimum at a time before I even try to take home time. So I ended up not going with that company. Ended up getting a spot, and I'll say this company's name, with Laser Spot. And they are a yard management company. They jockey and shuttle trailers for companies that they're in contract with, and I'm so grateful that I got that job. I recommend anybody who's getting a CDL and isn't, that gets their I think all companies should do this. If you're a major carriers, I hope if any of you guys see this, take this into consideration. You want your rookie drivers coming out of CDL school to not have these backing incidents, these preventable accidents from backing? Do this. Send them as jockeys for about 3 months. Watch how that backing gets so much freaking better than you'll ever. They will not have these issues with hitting things backing up. I guarantee you. Let them jockey for about 3 to 4 months. We'll see how much better their backing becomes, because that's what happened with me, man. So, I yard jockeyed, and because I had a CDL, I could also shuttle, which means I could leave the yard with a trailer. So I would take trailers from one yard to another yard, or I'd be in the yard and I'd be jockeying. And where I worked, they had both swing doors and roll doors. So if it was a swing door, I had to open up the doors when I put the trailer in, or I had to close the doors when I pulled the trailer out. And they also wanted these stands underneath every single trailer. So every time we had to put a stand underneath every time we took it into a dock, So I give yard jockey, I have so much more respect for yard jockeys than I did when I first got out here, man. That is a physical job, man. I don't care. You can say whatever you want, man. You are constantly getting in and out. Where I was, you were constantly getting in and out of your truck. But I'm so grateful for that job, man. I did it for 6 months because that's how much time I needed to have safe driving experience, safe CDL experience to get with some of the companies that I'm with, but it improved my backing so much better. And I'm grateful for it, because with the company that I'm with now, I'm running a Northeast Target. I run out of Virginia. So my home base is in Carlisle. That's where I leave my car. I pick up a load in Carlisle typically, and I come down here to Virginia. And in Virginia, I run out of a Target distribution center. And we pull from this Virginia Target distribution center, and we go to New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland, some Virginia, and every once in a while New York. We have 2 stores in New York that we can go to. And then that's it. And I do that 5 days a week. I'm home for 2. And then, man, I'm making really decent money with it. And I'm making close to as much money as when I was over the road with the first company I was with. Consistently. And But like I said, I'm grateful for that position with Laser Spot, because some of these stores, these Target stores that I'm at, I have to blindside. There's no way around it. That's just how the dock is set up, and I have to blindside. The one store I had to go to, I have to blindside around the building to put it in the dock. This other one that I just did, it's like how it's set up is like weird. Like they got curbs here and there, and I have to come in through the curb, blindside into the dock without running over either one of the curbs, and it's just, and doing that yard jockey work taught me how to steer trailers. Now granted, a jockey truck can turn these trailers so much faster, but the concept of backing is the same, and I understand how to turn a trailer and how to steer a trailer better, and it has helped my backing 120%. And like the most backs I ever did with Laser Spot was 82 backs in one night, and that's a 12-hour shift. But generally, that was just me in the yard by myself, running my butt off all night. And then average between two people, we averaged about 100 to 120 moves per night, so 50 to 60 moves. So 50 to 60 backs per night. So like, you do the math, man. I just say it was 50 moves per night, 4 days out of the week. 4 times 50 is 200. 200 times 4 is 8. 8 times 6 is 48. So I did 4,800 backs in 6 months. I don't care who you are. If you do 4,800 backs, you're going to start to get good at backing. Whether you're in a tractor, trailer, or you're in a yard jockey truck, man. And I'm so grateful for Laser Spot for that experience, because now I know how to back up a trailer. And granted, yes, we have to pull up and we have to, need a little bit more space, but I'm a lot more confident in my backing. I know I'm starting to get the timing back down to like a tractor timing compared to a yard jockey timing, as far as like how hard and how soft I have to turn the wheel. So like, my backing is nowhere near as bad as it used to be. I'm grateful for that. But yeah, man, now I'm back in the truck and I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm making good money at it. I'm happy again, man. I'm happy where I'm at. If you want to know more information, hit me up directly. And I'll get back to you. If you want to know like who I'm working with and like where to any other questions, just let me know, man. And yeah, man, that's it. I hope somebody got something out of this. But yeah, companies, let your rookie drivers become yard jockeys, especially if you're a company that has your own yard copy, like NFI. I'll throw their name out there. They have yard jockeys. Send your brand new recruits. Make them yard jockey for 2 months before you put them in these trucks. Guarantee you don't have nearly as many backing incidents as if they were brand new on the road. Guarantee, even with a trainer, you're not, when I backed with a trainer, it was so much better because I had somebody spotting me every single time. Put them in these jockey trucks and make them run some jockeying they'll appreciate tractor trailer driving a lot more, and they'll become better backers. That's just my opinion. But yeah, man, grateful for it. I hope somebody got something out of this, but it's almost time for me to go to bed, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.